So this is my current iteration of the experimental greenhouse. We've just come to the end of the season. One of my friends picked my tomatoes a few days ago, and she picked them really well. She's left very few red ones. And I was real busy this year, and I haven't been able to do videos because I was, just struggling to keep up with my work. So anyway, I'll just show you what's going on here. We've got the tummies here, which are going to be cleared out pretty soon. And I'm going to sow Swiss chard, Welsh onions, kale, and maybe some other green stuff for the winter. This area here was a big mistake on my part. I thought if I had an area here, I would get more space. But it didn't pan out that way, because what happens is I can't reach the two corners. It's just too far away, and it just turned into a jungle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this path to the end, and I'm going to remove this soil here so I can go to the end and just have my left and right pieces. And I'll still be able to use this space for plants in the winter, plants in pots in the winter if I have to. So this side I have a shelf, and this side I have also my planter. So this planter is high, and it's got, the soil goes down to about here, and then there's a false bottom, and then under the false bottom there's a trough of water, and the water extends the entire length of it, so there's lots of water in there underneath. And this here tells me how much water is in it, because this is connected to it. This is my watering system. And last year was, I guess, the first year that I've really figured out this watering system. I've been doing it for maybe 10 years, maybe a bit longer. And I just found that the best way of doing it is have your airlift pump, pumping air down under the water, and it works a bore scare. So this is a bore scare, and that tips up, empties, and and then the water comes out along here, and there's holes every foot, 30 centimeters on these two pipes. So I have two pipes here, and they let out water right to the end for the plants. And it's a fair amount of water that this can pump, over the course of a day. So I have it on a timer, and it doesn't work all the time, because otherwise my plants would be drowned. This one here, this one has so this one is working too. So I think this is probably a nice method to do it, where it goes into a little straight pipe over the bore scare, and you have the bore scare out of the and then it just, same deal, it just tips and sprays water out along to the plants. This one here, there's half a barrel under the ground here, and this is done differently, and maybe this is the better way of doing it. So there's about 200 liters, maybe how much would that be? Maybe 50 gallons of water under this one, and there's maybe 400 under this. But this one works quite well too, and it might be the better thing to do. I thought originally that if we terrace it, have this higher, we'd be getting heat from the sun on this that would be warming the water. And I didn't even think of a shelf at that time. And also, this side I had glass all the way along. So what I've done is I've taken out the glass, I've put metal siding on it, and I've put insulation in. I've left the two windows at both ends. So there's windows at both ends, and there is a reason for that. It's because in Victoria, we're up at 48 degrees north, and so I got a window, you can't hardly see it here, Well, I was real busy, so I wasn't able to keep up with this. So it just ran automatically for the summer. So anyway, in the summer, the sun rises at I think it's about 60 degrees. So it's rising over there. Then it comes up, arcs across the sky, goes up above the tree, and then goes right around and ends up going there. So it's going 230 degrees, something like that. That's just a guess. I'll put the real number in. So what I'm doing, so I have COVID now, so I have a bit of time because I can't go to work. My customers are all old, plus it doesn't make you feel wonderful when you have COVID. And anyway, so I'm going to do a couple of videos of this. My squash in the experimental greenhouse has been a failure because we need insects to pollinate them. So I'm going to have to, if I grow squash in it next year, I'm going to have windows for the insects. The reason I didn't have windows for the insects this year and previous years is because I'm just a bit nervous about rodents. I don't want rodents getting in here because they do so much damage, and so everything is very well sealed off for rodents. And even if you have insects coming in pollinating your squash, you still run the risk of getting moths coming in as well, and they're pretty amazing for how many plants their caterpillars will chew up. So I've left it mostly without insects this year. So it might change next year. Shelf is too high. I'm 6'1" and I can just barely see into the things on the shelf. So there's nothing here since the spring. But I would, and that's another reason why this terracing idea, a high one here, a low one here, is probably not so good. It's probably better to have them both maybe a foot high, 30 centimeters high, 30 or 40 centimeters high of soil, and then having your water underneath that. So anyway, if I did that, I'd be able to drop my shelf down another 30 centimeters or so. So my shelf would be down here. So that would be way better. And so I didn't plan that. Well, I didn't even plan for a shelf. I didn't plan for all this being insulated. And so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put glass on the inside on this window, and then I'm going to be able to put an insulation on the outside for the winter, because in the winter, after the 22nd of September, the sun rises in the east and travels low in the sky to the west, and then later on it's really low in the sky, and it might be over there somewhere when it rises, and it travels low in the sky, so it actually goes under where I've cut branches out of the tree. So it's very low in the sky in midwinter. So we've got to try and get this warmth and light in as much as possible. Anyway, thank you.